think I overhear a voice. A woman. It's Amy. Stop it. Let go. Let go of the gun. The gun. Hey guys, what's up? Dulex Infinity here, and welcome back to the channel. It has been a long flippin' time since I played this story game, and I've like I said, like this had, like, I don't know, it's been a while, like I've been wanting, like, before I went on a long, like, almost a month and a few, like a month, I don't know how long it's been. You know, you guys probably kept, I don't know, like, I've been gone for like almost a month and something. That before that, all that happened, I've been planning to record an episode of this, but I never got the chance because I wanted to, like I said, I didn't want to do every day with the same stuff. I wanted to take my time, do other content, and then post this again. Like, you know, it's like that's how I do it, and I'm pretty sure it's how a lot of YouTubers do it. I don't want to be consistent with the same thing. I explained this way before, but never got a chance to do it, and all this stuff happened, and now I decided to continue this off because I want to finish it. I want to finish the story. I want to finish it. So we're back at this again. Now in the previous chapter, choices were, damn it. Okay. The previous chapter, they were the character. It's been so long that I've not caught up with it. I forgot, and I didn't even bother to, like, look back. I needed to remember myself what happened. So as far as I remember, last chapter we went to we went through the underground tunnels. We ended up trying to find out what this secret underground base is. I'm pretty sure we ended up meeting up Marcus. He tried at first. I think we went discovering a lot of stuff first before we met Marcus. I think we started to figure out where we were at, and then Marcus explained we were at a government facility and that we needed. Marcus did. I think he attacked us last time. I remember. I'm not 100% sure. He attacked us. We had to defend ourselves. I think I got hit in the head, I think, and then we ended up taking the gun from him, and I'm pretty sure the choice was to, I think, threaten him to take us to where we needed to go, even though he told us that he's been working there for almost a long time, to be honest. He's not been able to go out and see the outside world and all that stuff, which sucked. I mean, I wouldn't actually get a job like that to work inside there and not be able to see the outside. I mean, that's me. But we ended up, there's just some stuff that he's hiding, I'm pretty sure. But there's also been some stuff that he's been explaining that we can't, there's some stuff that reasons that we can't go down to the lower levels to get some supplies. I think we needed it because I think Dennis obviously Dennis is badly injured, so we need to get some stuff for him. But apparently Marcus won't let us, so we had to threaten him to help us. So I don't know much. I can't really remember much. I'm gonna have to get into this chapter to start recapping what I forgot. But as far as I'm pretty much get the gist of what's been happening so far throughout the series, so don't worry about that. It's just the specific details that happened in this past chapters when I'm forgetting. So enough rambling, enough trying to recap on all this stuff. All right, you guys know what happened. You guys watch the content. All right, you guys know the choices we made. Let's get right into it. Beginning chapter 3. I'm gonna make sure I don't make any dumb choices, because I know some of the choices that previously were made, some of them choices were my fault because I misclicked, and yeah, I don't want to make sure I make those mistakes again. So here we go. We follow Marcus into what I can only describe as a control room of sorts. There are countless computer screens, some of which are obviously coming back from having been shut off. Everything looks extremely complicated. For screens filled with codes and data to what obviously our security system. It reminds me of the materialized version of an operations center in just about every space travel movie I've seen. Marcus is running from one of this one screen to another, apparently looking for some permitted bit of information. Where's the first aid kit? I snapped at him. Marcus stopped and started his track. as if he'd forgotten the whole reason for bringing us down here. "Oh yeah," he says, rushing to the left to the side of the room. There he hung down and by opening an open panel on the wall from what I assume is an emergency vault from where he got the rifle. Alright, so let's either look at the monitors, computer monitors, or peer into the open vault. Tough choice. I mean, we could find out what's going on with the monitors. Like, what is it telling? Because I mean, it's good to try to figure out what's going on, but at the same time, because Marcus isn't really explaining much. I think last chapter he didn't explain too much, but it's better for us to figure out, or we peer into the vault. Because, I mean, if that's where Marcus got the rifle, I mean, who knows if there's something else, right? There's other weapons, right? Because I'm pretty sure last time he said that there's every room has a vault for weapons, right? So, I mean, we don't want to risk the chance of him trying to, shoot us down, because we tried threatening him before. So let's peer through in the open vault as much as we need. I peer over Marcus' shoulders into the vault as the vault he opened. It's much larger than it looks from the outside. It practically is filled with files and folders marked classified. A few rounds of ammo for the rifle, a particularly plastic shield filled with syringes, and a locked black box. As Marcus digs around, one of the folders split open. For a split second it opened. I see a scanned document with a colored photo. The photo shows a male corpse with its guts on the outside of his body as if it had been turned inside out. There's also a massive swelling in his head, almost like his skull is about to explode. Marcus slapped the folder closed, and then I turned my attention over to the syringe. It filled with a violent colored fluid that, while rather pretty in colors, looks deadly. Marcus finally pulled out the first aid kit and turns around. When I look back to motion Dennis over, he's paler than ever. "Come on," I tell him, but he's not moving from his place on the floor where he sits against the wall. I slid the first aid kit over to him and go scrambling onto his side. Between the struggle for the rifle upstairs and arriving to this room, he fades first. He faded fast. Oh, excuse me, I'm done reading. I struggled to lift his shirt up and then over his shoulders as if the dried blood holds in place. The mere act caused him to grimace? I don't know. "This might hurt a little," I tell Dennis. He only nods. He doesn't seem to care. Pull the shirt off gently or rip the shirt off quickly. I mean, he doesn't seem to care. I mean, we gotta help him. He's gonna get worse. He's gonna die. So I must just pull his shirt off gently. I mean, I don't know. Jesse dry house posted in play. Let's see. Struggles to lift his shirt up and then over his shoulders, dry blood holds in place. I mean, I guess I could say Cherry could rip the shirt. No, I think I'll say it's hard. I'll say rip the shirt off quickly, because I mean we gotta help him out. I mean he's gonna die. He's feeling really weak, so we gotta help him as fast as possible. Here we go. He decided to rip the shirt off, figuring out that the old ripped off band-aid metaphor applies here. I tear the shirt off of him quickly. Plus, I don't feel like we're exactly in a lot of time. Dennis lets out a scream of pain and fury. "What the hell, man?" "Oh, god damn it. Sorry," I say, casting out loud. Cast the bloody shirt aside for the moment. Wincing in pain, he leans back against the wall and takes a series of deep breaths. His wound is more visible now, although it's practically hidden by the blood that has been started to clot around it. My medical knowledge is slim, basically just a bunch of basic I learned from Boy Scouts. I look over at Marcus, hopefully ask, "You have any training?" "Zero," he says. "Sorry." It's just as well, I guess. He's far too concerned with what's happening on the monitors to be much of any help. I started taking out several rolls of gauze within the kit and wipe as much blood as I can away from the wound on his side. It's even worse than I figured from the start. The gash is deep and dark. I'm pretty sure it's infected too. He's going to need some stitches, that's for sure. But I have no idea how to even start that. Besides, I don't even see the tools for it in the kit. When I splash rubbing alcohol over the wound, he responds with a hoarse yelp. Yelp. I'm tweaking, bro. Of surprise, but nothing more. His eyes are locked on me and appreciative, and he looks appreciative, but he also scared. To be honest, Dennis says hopefully. How bad does it look? You think I'll live? Let's see. I don't want to lie to Dennis, though. I mean, he's in pretty bad shape, and I'm pretty sure he knows it himself. I mean, I don't want to, like... I mean, it's infected. We don't even have stuff to hold stitches, like, to stitch him up. Like... It's difficult, because we can't lie to... I don't want to lie to him, but at the same time... I mean, I gotta be honest with him. I mean, that's the logical choice, right? I mean, I don't want to say, like... Do I really want to be honest? It's hard. It's hard to make a choice, bro. I don't want to make any dumb choices, but at the same time, you gotta make calls, right? Let's see. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I gotta be honest. You told Dennis the truth. Well, don't sugarcoat it, Dennis says. He looks defeated, but not really surprised. I kept quiet, but because I feel like I've already said enough. He rests his head against the wall and closes his eyes as I finish up. I place a layer of gauze against the wound and bind it to it with a medical tape. Then I reinforce it with a second layer. I know it's marriage? I don't even know. But it's all I can do. Shit, Dennis says. I'm a goner. This is a waste of time. His whole body deflates as he says this. Maybe I should just have been a little bit more encouraging, but I didn't want to see the point. I don't want to see the point in lying to him. Finally, I patched up the bruises on my head a bit, crushing myself again for not grabbing my hard hat. I look back to Marcus as he's looking up at us, deep in thought. My eyes are starting to really swell up from where he kicked me earlier. Maybe I shouldn't have let him laugh so easily. Are these first aids all you have in this facility? I asked him. If there's something, is there something better? I don't know anything about, he says. I noticed then that his off defensive posture is no longer there. Something is different now. Just a slight change in his demeanor. He's seen something on the monitors that has him frightened him more than he's already was before. What is it? I ask. What's wrong? His eyes travel around the room, and it's obvious that he's trying to decide whether or not to tell us the truth. Tell me the truth. Come on, spit it out. Let's see. Do I say it? Come on, spit it out, or get up and look at the monitors. I mean, I'm telling him to spit it out, because we gotta find out what's going on. Just what the hell is going on here? I ask. Not really sure I want to know the answer. His defeated gaze tells me that he's not going to be any help, so I decided to look around myself. After a few moments, I see a few things that I even can't comprehend hidden in the complex information of on most of the screens. On one screen, I see what it looks like a power meter that is slowly climbing upwards. A single message flashing beneath it that it reads, "Unexpected power failure. Forge an entity." A message trickling along the bottom of the spec screen says, "Safety locks on level 3. Contaminated doors engaged. Override." I see still on the screens a few other screens that I assure are security cameras showing the hallways and the patches of somewhere else in the facility. One of them first shows the first level hallway where we were just a few minutes ago. Another one shows a hallway I don't recognize. The floor is covered in blood. From what just off the screen, I see what I think might be a human body, but it's bent in an impossible. It's bent in an impossible way. It looks like the body, legs, and torso have somehow merged or melt into the floor. What's wrong with the security systems, or what happened to the person there? Let's see, what's wrong with the security? What's wrong with the systems? I mean, what's wrong with the systems? I mean, I don't think I really need to ask what happened to that person, because I mean, technically you could, because we need to. I mean, it's good to know what the hell happened, because there's blood everywhere. First off, it's best to know what caused that person to be like bent in like an impossible way. But at the same time, like, the systems are all messed up. But I think the problem is we need to know. I think we'll find out what happened, what's been happening, and what, like, I think we'll find out exactly what happened to that person, because of the fact that everything's on, like, all the contamination doors have been engaged, and then there's an entity. I think we'll figure it out. So we'll ask about what's wrong with the systems. We'll start with that. This place has backups for its backups. Marcus says it's not ever supposed to suffer in a full electrical shutdown. And what does a foreign entity mean? I ask, hoping that he has a sane answer. I have no idea. That keeps coming off and on. Whatever it is, it keeps entering and exiting to set off the sensors. What the hell? I ask. There's something still happening. We're in danger. He turns away, clearly fearing that he's already has said too much. And as bad as it is, there's a scene on another monitor that makes my blood go cold, and my fear of spike levels somewhere near terror. The scene is very familiar. It's the logging site. The equipment is mistakenly mine. I can even see my truck. Something like fury starts to rise up in my gut. Momentarily, I push aside the fear. For the moment, I consider just tearing into him. A few punches and shove him against the wall. Nothing more. I want answers, and I want them now. But I'm not sure which would provide more answers. Asking calmly or kicking his ass. I mean, he did kick my face. First off, it's not okay. Okay, no one gets to kick in the face. All right, it's making me a little bit unconscious. All right, and but I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure we tried to ask him kindly so far. I mean, it's hard. I mean, Marcus already done. I mean, let's ask him calmly. I'm pretty sure he's not in a mood where he finds us a problem right now. I think he's more concerned with his own life, so I think he can be reasonable. All right, let's ask him calmly. I'm gonna give him a chance. All right. Could you please explain to me what have you been spying on my crew? My anger is prodding at me, and I have to hold it back in again. It's near the surface, demanding a release. It's part of my job. Mine and a few others. Your crew has been watched ever since you guys set up your equipment. Why? Because you're working with heavy equipment, some of which digs into the ground, less than a mile away from a secret government facility. I had no idea of that, I say. How could I have known? Marcus gives me that same crooked, trembling smile that in the beginning of the criminal that creeps me out. Because of those things that would draw attention into this place, he says. You have no idea how secretive this facility is. Besides, I know the higher ups looked into it. Your site isn't on government land. It's shy by about 300 yards. Every piece of your equipment is on a private property. The timber tract you purchased from Mr. Gladstone 2 months ago. So even if we wanted to intervene and keep your crew away, we couldn't have without stirring up a fuss. The fact that someone with such a low-level clearance knows this much about my logging crew is unnerving. If you've been watching us, why didn't you recognize us when you first met us in the hallway? I ask. He shakes his head and exhales. Exhales like it's obvious. The cameras have been a bird's eye view. I can't see faces. We just track bodies and names. So, where the hell is... Let's see, do we say, where the hell is my crew? Or ask calmly? Well, he answered the far, so we're gonna ask calmly. So since you have all the surveillance, do you know where the rest of my crew is? I do my best to keep my voice. I do my best to keep my voice low, even though my impulse is to shout. Well, Marcus says, all of you were in the site as usual before the incident. It's been a few hours since I've checked, though. They might have been coming near the facility, or maybe not. I don't know. He says casually. It's not that important. Well, are they in the facility? I ask. You have cameras everywhere, right? Do you see them? Marcus shakes his head. I've looked all over and I haven't seen your crew. They aren't here. But he adds, the lower levels don't really have cameras classified. I'm not sure they've gotten there, but it's a possibility. I'm still shocked that we were being watched. Do they know everything about us? I'm telling you, Marcus says, the depth of the influence in this facility goes deep. There are 36 employees down here. Outside of those employees, only 5 other people know that this place exists. Alright, let's see what the hell goes on here. Ask calmly. I mean, I've been asking him calmly so far, but you know what? I'm gonna say this because I mean, I need to know what's going on. Let's just release our anger a little bit, all right? He doesn't even pause to consider if he should go any further. He actually laughs and then gives me an answer. I honestly don't know everything, probably very little. Do you know? But what I do know is that it's more than Black Ops. What do you mean? I ask. There are scientists who have been disowned by their own government because of the nature of their work. You get it now? I don't, not at all. But I don't want him to know about that. You said that there were 36 employees. I say. Where are they now? He shakes his head. As far as I know, everyone else is gone. Gone where? He points on the screen where it is still informed of an unexpected power failure and cringes. If this power failure was not corrected in time, there's no telling. But they're here in the facility somewhere, right? I ask, hoping someone will be able to help Dennis better than I can. I just don't know, Marcus says. They could be anywhere. Look, I say furious with the way that is talking with riddles. I don't. Ah, God, Dennis says. I look over to him as he looks pale as a ghost. He stood up with his eyes are locked onto the monitors closest to him. What? I ask. He simply points to the monitors and then looks away. I look to the monitors and see the login site, but more specifically, I see the overturned Durzer with the legs sticking out from under it, wearing work boots, right where I left him. Tony. The fact of his death seemed abstract, almost like it happened in some other way. Oh, God damn it, I skipped that. Okay, whatever. Damn it! I know that you've already told me he was gone, Dennis whispered, but it's different actually seeing him. My God. Suddenly, something blazes by the door, blazes by opening the door. The shape is fast and it's a shadow. I'm pretty sure it's a person. Someone else is here, Marcus says, wheeling around. He sounds very happy to discover this. So I try to follow his lead. If someone bad happened to this facility, then surely a sight of another survivor is a good thing, right? We should check it out, he says. I realize that this isn't the best moment to leave Dennis after revisiting Tony's death after death all over again. Someone just ran by the door, I tell him. Hopefully it's someone who can help us. You're gonna be okay, or we'll be right back. I can't leave Dennis. I can't leave him. He's been with us so far. I can't just leave a man behind. That's not how I work. Alright? That's my opinion anyway. It's fine. Go see who it is, he says, giving me a mock thumbs up. I turn to Marcus and motion for us as he heads to out and investigate. Let's be careful, Marcus says. Depending on who it is, it might be hesitant to shoot a stranger as I was. I nodded him as I head towards the door. I'm still holding the rifle in my hand, and I don't know if I have the guts to actually use it if needed. With a final look at Dennis, I ran out into the second level hallway. Alright. Let's continue. Alright, let's find out who this person is and see if they can help us. Oh, we're going back into this hospital area, which I remember. I remember we went into that we found a laboratory with a bunch of stuff, but nothing about that. Marcus follows, and there's still fear in his eyes, but it looks slightly glimmer of hope. The hope is contagious. We take off after the figure that we just ran past the command center. Ahead of us, the facility presents another yet long hallway. Right away, I noticed this level of the facility. It seems darker, even though the lights are all on. The hallway is adorned with a numbered yellow doorway and a large white panel along the walls. It's clean and well maintained, but there's something ominous about it. Up ahead, I see the fleeting motion of something dark cutting quickly to the left, down the corridor. There, I say quietly, pointing ahead. Marcus is giving me a nod and we continue chasing after the person we saw blazing through the command center just moments ago. It's then occurred to me that this person could be like Marcus was at first, armed and scared. Let's see. If I remember, I think we yelled at the person before, so we're probably gonna just move towards them slowly and approach them. We're not gonna be like last time where I just screamed. When we reached the intersection of the hallway where I'd seen the shadow moving, I eased around the corner and just in case. Sure, I have a rifle in my hands, but I don't want to use it unless I have to. I quickly dart around the corner and I take the same shooting stance as I've seen countless times on TV. There was a woman standing there, about 10 feet away. She had reddish blonde hair and a small, mousy build. She looked terrified and she was visibly shaking. She's been probably in her late 30s, wearing a lab coat with dark jeans and green Converse low tops. I have a strange sense that her fear is not just our sudden appearance. She looks like a woman who has been running scared for a while now. Her hands are raised in surrender. She's not holding a weapon. Marcus slowly approaches and taking a few steps ahead of me. It's Amy, right? He asks. She blinks and seemingly is surprised that he knows her name. Yes, she says. And you're Marcus. She nodded absently and then looked at my rifle. Alright, I'm gonna be nice because I don't want to be threatening. Now, how do I know that? She says. You're trespassing on government property in the midst of a huge catastrophic event, and you have a rifle. How am I supposed to believe you? I'm a friend back in the command center who needs medical attention, I said. And we're looking for the rest of our crew. I'm really sorry, but I don't know where they are, she says. Do you know what's happening? What's happened, Marcus asked. From the power outage? I don't know what caused it, she says, but there was an experiment taking place when the outage occurred. Something happened and she trails off here, giving me a look of distrust. I saw things on the security monitors, Marcus says. The experiment failed, didn't it? I don't know specifics, Amy said. I barely escaped the 3rd floor. I was going to go into the command center to see if the security footage showed anything, but then I saw you and the gun. Listening to the conversation, I feel totally in the dark. I want to find out what the experiments. I definitely want to find out the experiments. Amy looked at me, her eyes wide and terrified. Who are you anyway, she asked. I quickly gave her my story. A logger stranded in the woods following a particular explosion at the logging site. As I tell her, recognizing blues in her eyes, "You're one of those loggers." "Yes." She then looks to Marcus and says, I thought they were being watched." "They were," Marcus says. This was a freak accident, and there's no proof of that they were responsible. I feel myself wanting to submit to all the questions that were being pulled from my head, but Dennis is waiting for me. We gotta help Dennis. We need him. I don't want to leave Dennis by himself. I decided that despite my curiosity, I needed to get Dennis help as soon as humanly possible. "Look, is there any medical help that to be had here or not?" I ask. "Probably," Amy says. "But you have to find Colonel Barksdale. He knows where all those types of supplies are." "And where is he at? Where is everyone else?" I ask. At this, Amy starts to weep. She falls on her knees as if someone struck her from behind. "Gone," she says. "Some were killed and some were just, I don't know. They disappeared right in front of me." Well, might as well ask what the hell's going on here, because apparently if everyone's dying, disappearing and stuff, something's here with us, Amy says. "We're conducting an experiment and it all went horribly wrong. Something came through." "Came through what?" Marcus asks. I don't even know that much. "An entity. Whatever it is, it's still here somewhere," Amy responds. How do you not know? "Don't you have full security access?" I ask. "No. I have access to almost everything, but there are 2 levels of security beyond my clearance. So, what do you suggest we do now?" "I'm not sure," she says, weeping her tears away. "But if you want to find your crew, we need to find Barksdale. He's in charge." "Where is he?" I ask. "Down to the 3rd level, in the hangar." "Then let's go," I say. "It's not that easy," Amy says, looking again at the rifle in my hands. "Why not?" "Like I said, something came through the power. Something came through when the power went out. There are several of them, all roaming the 3rd level." I gotta ask what's going on before we do anything. All I know is the others were referred to them as entities. Amy shouted at them, recalling them as she recalls the horrors that she's seen. I don't even know how to describe them. I didn't get a good look, she says. All I did when I was running, was run for my life. Behind me, I heard just screams. I know it's very scientific. It's not very scientific of me, but I didn't even feel like sticking around to learn. "She's right," Marcus says, stopping my train of thought. "The things I saw on the monitors, it was crazy. This was insane," I barked. I'm going to the 3rd level to find Barksdale. This Barksdale guy. Thanks for your help." "Wait," Marcus says. "I'm sticking with you. If we want to get out of here, we have to find Barksdale, right?" "Yes," Amy says. "But Barksdale's on the 3rd floor, and it's too dangerous to go back there. I figured I let them make their own decisions. In the meantime, I start heading back to the command center to get Dennis. Before I get there, I hear footsteps behind me getting closer. I give Amy a questionable look as she looks away, really too long. "Neither one of you know the way around here," she says, looking for Barksdale on your own, but it's suicide. Like it or not, she has a point. Fine, I say. Then let's go get Dennis from the command center and head down there together. Alright, we're going back to get Dennis before we go onto the 3rd floor and probably see what those things are, because I don't know what they are. We enter the command center and I'm happy to see that Dennis has regained some of his color. "We're going to get you some help," I tell him. "And then we're going to find our crew and get the hell out of here." "More help will be great," he says. "With the way that you ripped off his shirt earlier, I'm not letting you touch me again." "Wait," Amy says. "Maybe one of us should stay here with him." "I'll be okay," Dennis says. He stands on his feet with a grunt. "You don't know what's out there," Amy says. "I saw them. I saw what they could do. This facility is not safe." Let's see. Can I say what can we do, or are there any of them on this floor? I mean, I don't think so, considering that Amy managed to get around this floor. So, what can we do? What can they do? Never mind, she says. Come on, we just need to be careful. Marcus looks a little hesitant, but he nods his agreement. He nods his agreement, and then the four of us exit the command center. Heading back into the hallway, I look back at the monitors. I take a few final looks at the screens before that shows my wrecked log site, and I feel a pang of sorrow. Then I look on the other monitors and see the live feed of the facility and the security camera. The facility's security cameras. I try to tell myself that I'm not looking for any signs of Amy's creatures, but I can't. That's exactly what I'm doing, and there's no need to pretend otherwise. We head through the hall and towards the elevator. The tension that exists between us is like a physical presence. Alright, we're going down. We're going down to the 3rd floor to find Barksdale. And we're going to be facing those creatures that Amy was talking about, which... Oh god, I don't even know what's going on at this point, bro. We stepped inside the elevator and those pristine doors close. Inside the elevator, Amy seems to become much more guarded and distant from us. I want to ensure her that I meant her whole harm, but I'm also not going to put my rifle down. So you have plenty of high clearance in this place, right? I asked her. That's right. So what kind of experience were we talking about here? What went wrong? When she started to answer my question, I could tell that it's something of relief for her to get some off her chest. There's been a lot of work on the project taking place over here in the last 3 years or so. The purpose is to find out if there's any real visible science behind the point-to-point interstellar installation. Like teleporting, I ask? Oh my god, Marcus says. I had no idea. I knew there were some weird stuff here, but nothing this insane. It's really not that all insane, Amy says. We found our first major breakthrough about 9 months ago. We were able to transport a living rat from its cage on the 3rd level to a small lab in New Mexico. The trip took the rat 5 seconds. Are you kidding me? Dennis says. I could tell you that he's been wanting to sound. He's wanted to sound as he was mocking the idea, but he failed. He's scared. Not at all, Amy says. The problem was that when the rat arrived, its retains were detached and the intestines were on the outside of its body. Oh god. What does this have to do with us now, or did you perfected it? Yeah, let's not ask that question. Let's just worry about what does it have to do with us now, because obviously our more important thing is our lives here. Well, about 6 months ago, we successfully made that exchange. The man arrived in great health and in time, in just 3 seconds. Still, one of the things we needed to tweak in order to make the process completely safe was to figure out how to keep the subject subject on a straight course. When the matter is being transported, not only are the atoms being unknit and then we put together back to its atoms being unknit and then put back together upon arrival. Let's put transported. Let's see, transported or unknit. I'll ask unknit, I guess, because I'm pretty sure I know what transported is. Yes, deconstructed and translated through space. It's the only way we know how to get it right. How to do it right now. But the issue I said comes in keeping this deconstruction the subject on a straight course to its destination. When the process occurs, we are deforming space-time. We are creating a shortcut through space, and that has a risk. And that has risks. What? Why exactly? Dennis asked. Because there's many more dimensions in space than than 3 we exist on that we exist on, she explains. There are some evidence that there are as many as 10. So when you send the rat to New Mexico, it's traveling through another dimension to get there, I ask. Basically. I don't know. And because of that, we are trying to get a better understanding of what the other dimensions are capable of. Things that a great deal of the population would be scared of if it knew what we're doing, hence all the privacy. Then today the power went out, and as we were right up in the middle of the experiment, something happened. What? I don't know. She's speaking with the authority of someone who knows what she's talking about. Let's see. Is that why those creatures are here, or what have you seen in those dimensions? Let's ask if the creatures. I mean, we want to know why those creatures are here, right? So we gotta ask. That's my assumption, she says. I wasn't present for the experiment. I'm not cleared for such things, but I do get the reports. What reports, Marcus asked. I'm given access to results of the test. In other words, Marcus replied, clearly upset. You guys have been peeking into other dimensions and taking notes of what you see. I can't believe I wasted my life for this, he mutters to himself. He looks like he's starting to freak out. Amy's quiet. Her expression indicates that she's waiting to see how I react to all of this. I mean, it's impressive, but at the same time, you brought creatures into this, and it's all over the facility. Like, if it gets out, like, people could die, bro. So I'm gonna say you people are crazy, because you guys are crazy. You weren't impressed by Amy's work. Why do you think this place is such a secret? Amy asks. Why do you think it's so well hidden? She's right, Marcus says. There are things that take place here that make sci-fi movies look like a kid's TV show. I shake my head and I realize that it's not like I don't believe them. It's that I'm trying my hardest to convince myself that they are insane. Marcus, on the other hand, is incredulous. I don't want anything to do with this, he says. All this time I've been working for. He laughs cruelly, and sounds of it that makes my blood go cold for a moment. Just a single level beneath my feet, you assholes have been tearing apart space-time, Marcus continues. When the elevator's doors open, I can't get out fast enough. My tension is growing way too thick for my liking. Outside of the elevators, we stepped into what appears to be a massive industrial area. The carnage waiting for us is unlike anything I've seen in the upper levels. Okay, here we go. We're going in, guys. We are going into this, and there's blood on the floor and blood on the walls. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's see what we got. The area looks industrial-like. Everything is built for utilities only. But more noticeable than that is all the blood. My God, I've never seen so much blood. These creatures must have a field day. Holy shit, Marcus says, looking at the man that just woke from a very bad dream. There were more personnel in this area when the experiments were running haywire, Amy says, as if the explanation makes it all better. No research you all do down here could be worth all this, I say. We have to get moving, or we're all going to lose our nerve. Amy, let's focus. Barksdale's on the hangar, I guess. If he's still alive, yes, that's where it'll be. Then let's hurry, I say. As far as I can tell, Dennis is doing a lot better, but I'm beginning to grow tired of trying to keep my fear at bay. Between the blood on the floor, the silence on level 3, and Amy talking out of the lab rat, I'm getting freaked out. Let's see. Well, I mean, Amy knows the way around this facility, so I'm pretty sure she knows what she's doing. I mean, I don't know if I could trust, like, I mean, Dennis is there, he's doing a lot better. I'm holding the rifle, so, I mean, I'm gonna let Amy take the lead. She knows where she's going. The four of us start walking ahead, Amy taking the lead. We stop walking when we come to the remains of what looks to be 3 different people. It's hard to tell how many bodies were because they've been torn to shreds and are distorted. 2 of the bodies look as they have been fused together. Another man looks to have his leg wielded again. They wielded through the floor. I can see this man's face. He died in an object state of horror. His mouth pried open with an internal scream. We're gonna have to keep moving. We can't look at the bodies. Like, if those creatures are still around, we don't have time. We need to get in and get out. It's simply too much. Worse than the fact that we just started our journey on level 3. If there is a worse waiting up ahead, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. Dennis steps up beside me, and what he says with his voice soft and flat. What the hell can we do? What the hell could we do to that someone? He asked. The things I saw, Amy answers. They could do it pretty much easily, I think. She looks pale, and I think she may pass out at any moment. Tears spilling from her eyes, and she's visibly shaking. She shoulders on, looking back at me and stepping to the side of the gruesome carnage. Her eyes again go to my rifle, and she doesn't even look hopeful. "You good to go?" she asked me. We need to move on, but for some reason I can't take my eyes off the scene. My mind is reeling, trying to process it all. Let's just keep going. We gotta keep going, bro. We leave Grizzly Sight behind, and we go to another equally destroyed area. From what I can tell, the next room over was once opened was open for experimentation. The place hasn't been just destroyed; it's been physically altered in a way that makes no sense. The gliders look like it's been warped. There are very materials that distorted and twisted. To my right, a machine has been catapulted and looks to have somehow merged with the wall rather than crushed into it. Beyond the phenomenon, there's a standard violence that I have expected to see. There's a limb arm sticking out from underneath the wreckage, and more. I see no sign of an explosion, which makes me wonder just how this happened. Seeing through the aftermath is sickening enough, but it makes me wonder if Amy saw it while this was happening. Alright. Go either ask, did you see what happened to the grinders, or did you see how these people died? I mean, either way, if you ask either or question, you find out, because like these creatures they destroy everything. So, I mean, obviously, if these guys have that strength to bust a bunch of grinders, they have this. Obviously, it makes sense how easily they can destroy humans. I only caught a glimpse of it, she says. It was like trying to focus your eye on something that was so too close. They just started twisting, but not creaking or breaking. It was just like these creatures were able to deform matter. She paused here, and that's when we heard something echoing through the facility. It comes from behind us and slightly to the right. I'm not sure what it is, but it makes my blood feel like ice. It sounds like static from the AM radio, but it's a high-pitched noise beneath it that I can't even start to fathom. What the hell is that? I said, instantly clapping my hands into my ears. One of them, she says. Her voice has a whisper. One of the creatures. That's what they sound like, Dennis asked. I see that he's leaning on against the wall. Once again, the noise. I suddenly realize that I have depth grip on the rifle, ready to shoot at the next thing I see. Let's see. So let's ask how far away do you think we are? About 100 meters, she answered. Not far. Everyone seems to take this as the crew to start moving again. It's a cue to start moving again. We make our way around the office wreckage, and now we're with a new purpose in every step. We barely make it to the other side of the room, approaching a dark hallway when another high-pitched noise sounds out. This one is louder, closer. We all share the terrified look, and I can tell that Amy is on the verge of losing it. I grip on the rifle tightly as we head towards the hallway in front of us. Our main focus should be on the hangar, because we gotta get there as quick. Close, she says. It's not at the end of the hall. It's just at the end of this hallway. Dennis speaks up in his voice within like ice. Why don't we just haul our asses? Why don't we just haul ass then? Why don't we just haul ass then? No one says anything after that. But I can feel a presence of terror around us, pressing in on us like something new violent grip. So the creatures are there, and they're getting closer, and we just have to keep on moving. That's the best thing we can do, obviously, because we gotta get there. He's got supplies there. Mark still has supplies, so we gotta focus on that. The small utility hallway is well lit. It looks like it was designed to be used by selecting maintenance workers. What goes on in this area, I ask. I'm looking at Marcus as I ask him the question, but he only shrugs his response. She might know, he replies, pointing to Amy. I've never been down here before. It's just an utility hallway, he says. But in the end, there's a maintenance room. There should be a gun or two in there. It also makes most of the direct path to the hangar entrance. As we walk quickly and quietly down the hall, I take a glimpse ahead and I feel the hair on my back, on my neck, stand on end. The lights become more sparsely spaced, and impossible to see just how far the hallway extends into the darkness. This hallway is occasionally traced by bloodshed, but nothing like the main area that we come from. We continue further down, and just as I'm beginning to see what looks like a large metal door further ahead, I can hear yet another shrill sound. This one's not further ahead, but no less demonic. How many of these did you see? Dennis asked to Amy. 3. But that's just what I saw. They could be more. What did they look like, Dennis asked? Let's see. Yeah, we might as well ask what we're dealing with, because, I mean, we gotta know what they look like. I don't even know how to explain, she says. Monsters. That's the only word I can think of. That's the only way I can think of. My mind seems to struggle just trying to understand what I was seeing. They're big, and they seem to jerk around every few feet or so. They look like they're made of light. That's about all I know for sure. You know, my ex-husband I said I'd always let my work kill me, she continues, seemingly unable to stop herself. I mean, I doubt he'd imagine to expect this scenario, but still. As we make our way to the hangar doors, another high-pitched noise rings out, angrily now. Amy starts walking, causing all of us to stop and turn to her. Stops walking. We have to do something to slow those things down, she says. No, Marcus snips. There's no time. We need to distance ourselves and get to the hangar fast. Amy ignores him and deeply in thought. There's an old hydraulic door set to the wall right here, she says. It hasn't been used for years though. She looks at me, pleading her case. Together we might be able to pull it close behind us to keep those things back. Hold these things back to keep that. Those old hydraulic doors weigh a ton, Marcus says. There's no way to work. Roger, Amy says. What do you think? It'll be a lot harder it'll be a hard time getting those things on. Hard time getting to us if those things are all those doors are locked. Look, Marcus shouted, turning to me. We have to get to the hangar now. So it's either we keep moving to the hangar, but I mean, if those creatures are getting closer and they're getting angrier at the fact that we're around, we have to hold them back, right? I mean, it's logical sense. We need more time to get to the hangar, especially the fact that, you know, Dennis is still kind of injured. I'm injured. Marcus is kind of injured. Like, I'm gonna go with Amy. We gotta keep this monster back. We got to. We decided to close the doors. Damn it, Marcus says. We don't have time for this. Amy ignores him and starts feeding along the hallway for the group. Dennis and I start looking as well. A minute passes, and then I start a small metal frame running to the floor from the ceiling. This is it, I ask. Yes. Is this it? Yes, Amy said. I look at the floor and I see an old metal track that runs through the frames. Let's move it, I say. Amy's, Dennis, and I start pulling as hard as we can, but it barely budges an inch. Behind us, a static noise ring out again. My heart seems to stutter, and Marcus lets out a little whine. We're running out of time. We need to go, Marcus screams. Those things are getting ever closer. We're gonna get Marcus to help us. It's the only way. It won't make any difference, he says. Shut the hell up and help us, and then we'll find out, I shouted. Reluctantly, Marcus walks over and glimpses at the door. We're all groaning as we strain to pull. It starts to inch slowly, and then we begin to move steadily. Once we get it started, it slides easily. As we nearly the wall, closing off the hallway behind us, I think I can miss the glimpse of oddly illuminated shape into the darkness. It's cutting off by the side of Trump and of the hydraulic door being pushed against the frame. In the opposite wall, Amy turns to lock it in place. Great. Now let's haul ass, Marcus says. We all turn and get moving again. Still feeling unsure about the prospects. The fact that yet another shrilling noise sounds out elsewhere in the facility is not calming. And then there are just two of them. It's almost like they're crawling onto another. The doors to the hangar slid up ahead, like the entrance to some enormous labyrinth. This is a long chapter. The other chapters were pretty short, but this is, man, we're getting into this deeply, bro. Alright, let's keep going into this. When we reach the hangar doors, I get a true sense of how pretendable they are. A computer terminal is mounted on the wall nearby and has a blinking red light. Any ideas what this means, I ask? It's an automatic lock, a fail-safe from the lockdown, Amy says Amy. I've never been down here before, Marcus says. But if I had known this door was here, I would have opened it earlier. How, Amy asked. The fear in her voice is more present than ever. From the command center, he says, you need to override it from there first. Then we use this terminal to open the hangar doors. The command center is on the second floor, I ask. Yeah. Amy shakes her head and lets out a nervous laugh. Are you kidding me, she says. We just pulled the hydraulic doors and backed off the hallway, remember? If we wanted to get a glimpse into the hangar, we have to go back to the command center, Marcus says. Isn't there any other way? Turning to Marcus, Amy replies, well, there's another elevator, but we need to go to the biochem storage. I need to stay with Dennis so he can rest, I say. You two go. You two know your way around this place. And you know the controls, Marcus. Fine, Marcus says, but we need to be armed. Oh boy, that's the problem. Should I trust Marcus with the gun, or should I give the gun to Amy? I mean, Amy doesn't trust us, and Marcus, I don't know what Marcus will do if he gets the gun back. I don't know. I'm gonna trust Amy because Amy really, I mean, then again, I'm trying to, like, Amy seems frightened, but I feel like I don't know. I'm gonna give it to Marcus. No, not Marcus. I'm gonna give it to Amy because I trust Amy more than Marcus. handed Amy the rifle and she turns to go. Marcus gives me a concerned look, but follows her along behind her. Once Amy and Marcus make it a good distance down the hallway, Dennis lets out a nervous laugh. And then there were two, he says. Dennis looks much better, but he still needs to use the wall to stay standing. Didn't Amy say that there were guns and emergency kits in the maintenance room near the hangar doors? I asked. Yeah, I think so, Dennis asked. I'm exhausted. I look and see the doors. I see a door door to the right that says maintenance. Might as well give it a try. I go to the door and try to open it, and it finds that's locked. Let's see. Knock it down, kick it down, or push it with my shoulder. I mean, I'll try to push it with my shoulder. I feel like if I kick it, it makes more noise. I give it a hard shove, but it doesn't budge. And then I try again, but that's when I hear a gunshot from just down the hallway. My first thought is that Amy and Marcus had come upon one of those things, one of the monsters. But I don't hear anything strange static coming from static sound. I've come to associate with it. Alarm bells go off in my head, and before I know it, I'm heading back down the hall away from the hangar doors. Stay here, I'll be right back. I whisper over my shoulder to Dennis. See if you can figure out how to get into the maintenance room. Where are you going? He asks. Don't bother answering me as I bound through the hall to the doors where Amy and Marcus went. Oh shoot, we gotta find out what's going on. Gunshots, man, they can only be one thing. Oh my god, here we go. As I enter the biochem room and start walking between the massive silos, I wonder what classified chemicals could be inside them. I'm fully expected to one of Amy's creatures come flying out of the intersection of the hallways overhead. I think I overhear a voice, a woman. It's Amy. Stop it! Let go! Let go of the gun! The gun! I run ahead so fast that I almost trip over two people in a life or death struggle. My mind tries to process what I'm seeing, but it makes no sense. Not at all. Marcus is wrestling with Amy, trying to take her gun away from her. When it doesn't work, he throws her into the ground, and she starts choking her. Her face is turning purple, and her eyes look like they might pop out of her head. Marcus sees me coming from the hallway, but acts as if he is doing it perfectly normal. What the hell are you doing? I'm gonna stop him. I have to stop him. We need Amy. I start rushing towards him before, and I really know what I'm like. I really know what I'm doing. I bring my fist down in a hard ache across the bridge in his nose, the bridge of his nose, and he is rewarded with a sick crackling sound. He cries out as he falls to the ground, looking at me as he doesn't understand why I punched him. On the floor, Amy clutches on her neck, grasping for breath. I start to fear as if I was a moment too late. Just as I see the rifle thrown across the room. Marcus seems to notice this at the exact moment as I do. I'm not gonna bother him, Marcus. I'm gonna go after the rifle. I have to get the rifle. We both go at the rifle at once. He takes a single stumble towards it, wobbling a bit from my punch. I dive for it when I hit the floors. It almost feels like a basketball player trying to steal dirt. Oh no, a baseball player. What I'm speaking. Our hands both fell on it, but when I yank it away, he manages to kick me, knocking my rifle on the floor again. The kick catches me squarely on my ribs, knocking my breath out of me. What the hell are you doing? He yells at me. By killing her, I'm saving us all. All of this was her fault. I sense that he truly believes this. And that in this case, then why not he just attack her when we're all together? The answer is simple. We need to stop him. He wanted to kill her in private. And then what? What would he have done with the same thing to Dennis and me? It seems fitting, really. When we first came upon Marcus, we held the gun on him. I'd been so relieved to see another human being that underestimated just how unhinged he was. Marcus and I both dive for the gun, for the rifle, still laying on the floor, and started wrestling for the possession. But I'm not confident I'll come away with it. As we struggle, he starts to inch the muzzle of the gun towards my face, in a position I do not want to be in. I start pushing it back hard. But this thing accidentally fires, and I'm not sure where I prefer the bullet to go, especially in this room full of chemical tanks. Force the muzzle towards Marcus, or force the muzzle towards the tanks. We're gonna have to move it towards Marcus, because if these chemicals come out, there's no telling what it is. I grunt as to push the muzzle towards his face, realizing he's literally looking towards down the barrel of the gun. Marcus ducks his head out of the way. This makes him lose lenience, allowing me to yank the gun from his grip. I get my feet as quickly as I can, swinging the rifle back around him. For a moment, I think I've knocked him out, but his eyes fluttered as he looked at me, as if I betrayed him. Her people, he says. It was them that did this. She deserves to die. She did this. I looked to Amy and I wished I could help her. I'm relieved that she managed to draw in a few breaths. Her legs move as she tries to push herself into a sitting position. You would know, Marcus says. You don't know you didn't work here under their secrecy. You don't know what it's like to. He surprised me with a laugh towards me, leaping from the floor like a human projectile. I don't have time to aim carefully. I have to react fast. I'm gonna dodge because I'm not gonna shoot him. I don't want to shoot him. But if he gives me no choice, but I'm gonna dodge. His aim is poor and his strength is fading, so I dodge him easily. I don't want to have a gunshot go off and alert the creatures where we are. Make a hard jab of the butt of the rifle, striking him and then striking his chest. Something crushes, and he lets out a whoosh of air. He crumbles it for a moment, and then he goes to his knees. He roars in a pain on the floor. Only after a few moments, I realize that they are not purely screams of pain. That bastard is screams calling for them, calling for those creatures to come for us. This place is evil. Along everyone involved, he wails on the floor. If you're taking her side, then you deserve to die too. If you want to stop me, you better do it now, you coward. The rage in his eyes at Amy, and well as towards me for stopping him, makes me think that he'll deliver on his threat. I raised the rifle again, every urge in my body wanting to make sure he doesn't come back to bite us. But I'm not a violent man. I could easily not kill him and just leave him behind. Do I let Marcus live, or do I let him die? Do I kill Marcus? There's many ways you can think about it. I don't want to be the type of person to kill him. But he's calling out to those monsters. I might as well leave him, because he's probably gonna get himself killed knowing Marcus. So I'm gonna let him live. As much as he's being a dick, as much as he's screaming to those monsters to come get us, we need to get to we're trying to get to the level, to the high level, alright? That's what our main goal is. I'll let him live. Our main goal is just to get to the elevators. We're gonna have to go. Just when I could barely shoot earlier as he was coming at me, I could barely bring myself to deliver a kill shot. I ignore him and lean down to Amy. You okay, I ask. She nods slowly. Have to go, she says, her voice raspily. They'll be here any minute. Too much noise. I have to hold her arm so she can get on her feet. We started forward, and then I think of Dennis. We should go back to the hangar doors. I say, I can't just leave Dennis there. There's no time, Amy says. You need to come with me. Up to the command center now. We'll be back for him soon. You're all dead and now anyways, Marcus shrieks. If they don't get you, I will, he laughs mechanically. After saying all this, he hoots like a madman. As if in response, a high-pitched noise tears through the hallways. I seem to feel it in my bones. They're following the noise now, Amy says. Her voice still weak. She takes off away from Marcus, presumably towards the elevators. As she mentions a moment ago, I follow her. As we move out towards Marcus, I hear Marcus slowly pushing himself off to the ground and stumbling off, slipping away into the tanks and disappearing. We start running, and after the first few strides, another noise sounds out. It sounds kind of mechanical at the same time. It also reminds me of the recordings I have of a whale sound. A sound, son of a... my sleeping is slow. They reach out of the hydraulic doors as we pull, Amy says, confirming that what I was thinking. The sound grows louder, and it's clear as we're struggling with it, which is good. We have a bit more time. I speed my steps towards her, following me as she leads my way to the elevator. She pants furiously and pushes on. I can't hear something rattling. I can hear something rattling beneath her. No, her breath. Likely the result of Marcus' attack. This makes me imagine just how cold he is. How his cold, uncaring eyes must have looked, staring down at her as he tried to deliver her to her death. How she is still forging on is beyond me. I'm sorry about Marcus, I say. It's not your fault, she interrupted. At least you handed me the gun. I just hope we can find a way to survive this mess. Don't say anything, we'll be fine. I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna say that. I'm not sure, she says. Her eyes fixed straight ahead. I'm not sure I can blame her. I just wanted to say something encouraging, I guess. We finally came to the elevator doors at the end of the rows in a silo. The elevator slide open, and at that moment we could hear something behind us. A strangle sort of whistling sound. We step inside and turn our faces into the bionic room, and thankfully we've been given a few moments to spare. The elevator doors remained open for 3 seconds before they started to slide close again. In those few seconds, a large shape floating towards us. Photophosphorus, like white glowing outlines of an impossible shape. Behind it, another shape that almost entered the bionic room, and then another. The third one breaks away from the other two, taking a quick right as it moves at an eerie speed. This is the direction that Marcus has gone. Honestly, the thought of hunting him down doesn't seem to bother me in the slightest. Amy presses down the button and closes the elevator doors, but they stay open for what seems to be like an eternity. I curse whoever designed these damn doors. I'm gonna say get ready to shoot because I don't know. We gotta know if these work. We gotta kill these things. We can't go anywhere, I figure, so there's no use of hiding. I take a step, and as I stand under a firm elevator doorway, I hold my rifle steady, ready to fire. And then when I see them in a clear light for the first shot, for the first time. I can see their features, their shapes, and their colors. But my mind can't quite process it at all. Nothing about them makes any sense. My eyes try to see a solid, but that's not what these things are. They're gray and white, and they seem to be nothing more than just squirming light. Their appendages are neither legs or tentacles, but somewhere in between. They don't walk on the appendages. They use them to glide. But they look like they move like ghosts, but they seem to jerk every few feet or so. But I'm pretty sure that this jerking effect is not a result of their movement, my ability to understand how they're moving exactly. it's also more that their appearances that makes mockery more reality. The light around them seems to bend inward, as if space within the room has to reshape itself for their existence. That peculiar effect in the air makes their movement seems like moving underwater, only faster. The screeches in unison as they rush towards the elevator. They'll be inside here in another few seconds. I check the rifle and see that the ammo is diminishing. I have to start saving my shots. I am going to have to be choosy. Shoot the creatures or save the ammo. I'm gonna have to save them. I mean, if they're light, I mean, who knows if the bullets will actually work. So I'm gonna save the ammo. I'm gonna be smart because I don't know if these creatures are light, right? So what if they just bullet passes through? It's a thing that I gotta keep in mind. They're just light, he says, right? They keep advancing even though the doors the doors may not close in any time. I manage to keep my cool and avoid flirting off from any more rounds. My flickering just pull the trigger, but I resist. I'm not sure if the gun would even affect them. Finally, the elevator doors closed. The creatures washed against the other side of the door, making an electrical noise and crying out in anger. The tips of their spider-like appendages poke through the walls of the elevator doors, but for some reason they can't get all the way through. Amy screams at this and curls into a ball in the far corner of the elevator, crying. I say nothing to her, but I clings to the rifle, hoping that the creatures don't find Dennis as he waits by the hangar doors where I left them. For his sake and ours, we need to get those. We have to get them open now. This is wow, bro. Gee, this is much. Hold on. Before I say my opinions on this whole chapter, let's read the option. What I like. All right. Let's see this. The blunt truth. You and 41% of players told Dennis to prognostize was grim. His prognosticism it was grim. You and 35% of players sided with Amy on pulling the hydraulic doors. Okay. You and 69% of players gave the gun to Amy. I mean, logical sense, bro. She probably would have died. You and 58% of players left Marcus alive. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't have the urge to kill him. I mean, you and 68% of players conserved bullets for later instead of shooting them on the creatures. Smart. The only word bad choices. The only first two bad. Like, I made two bad choices in the beginning. I mean, I guess those doors really didn't help, but at the same time, what could I do? If it had to hold them back a little bit longer, you got to be smart about it, I guess. But I got to be honest with Dennis. I don't know why you'd have to lie to him, but he did get better, so there's that. But honesty is always good. You can't just tell him he's gonna. You can't just say that he's just not lie to him though. But whatever. Anyways, that's pretty crazy though. Like we made it all the way down there. There was so much blood everywhere. Like these people, like whatever these creatures do to these people, it's just impossible to make. Like some people were turned inward. Some people were just attached to the floors. Like it's just crazy. These creatures are just pure light, and the fact that they can do that is just crazy. And the fact that they have the strength to like destroy grinders and throw them and stuff like that, it's just crazy. But well, Marcus went crazy and he's gone now. But I'm hoping that Dennis actually sticks around and he's actually stays alive by the time we come back from the command room. So one can only hope. But with all that, I've literally been like recording for an hour and 18 minutes. That's how long the chapter lasted. So I'm actually like out of all the chapters, this has been the longest chapter so far. So I'm pretty sure the other chapters will be mostly the same, but it's only one way to find out. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Buried, the third chapter, Buried. If you guys did, be sure to hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you guys happen to be new to the channel. Greatly appreciate all the support. Also, if you guys can do me a favor, please hit that the notification bell down as well. So that way you guys can be able to get the next notification of my next upload. Apparently, also another thing with YouTube, like I said earlier, in the vlog, in my previous vlog, that apparently YouTube makes this thing where sometimes in your subscriptions, where you get the uploads from your favorite when you're subscribed to a YouTuber, sometimes you don't get it. So that's why it's important to get that notification bell. So please, if you guys can do me a favor, please hit it. Please hit the bell. I greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. The link will be in the description below. And also, the links for the Wright Crafters channel will also be down there. Be sure to keep an eye on the Wright Crafters channel because we will be posting some more stuff there soon. Don't know when, but I will promise you somewhere within the next somewhere between the end of April to May, because Mark is still in school as well as I. So we'll see how that goes when it comes with time. But yeah, but with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys made it all throughout this whole entire hour and 20 minutes of recording, you guys are amazing. Thank you for watching all of it. Thanks for joining me on this journey so far, and let's just see what happens in these upcoming chapters. We'll see what's happening next, and see if we survive, and see what happens. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Deluxe Infinity. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I'll see you guys all next time. Peace.